feel like this is coming in a bit late because the importance of this is for tourism, and which is we only run a 1-year tourism calendar, which is December. So I feel like this should have been done in October. So last year, a lot of tourists went back to their country and called back the payment because foreign countries can tell your bank that you don't know this charge and you take it back. And because it's just a single authentication. As a matter of fact, in America, people don't know what PIN is because you just tap your card to pay, you just use your phone, Apple Pay. So it's easy, and it's easy for you to say it's fraud. But if it's within the shores of America, they can investigate it and they can see you on the camera like, yo, this is you paying with your card by yourself. But in Nigeria is already a high risk place, so they don't even need to investigate.
This is Soup Business Landscape.
If you have a foreign card, there is a mandatory function that you should make sure you have an authentication for it. Now, CBN is telling everybody, hey, all instructions from all banks and financial institutions to enforce, by force, multi-factor authentication for foreign cards transactions exceeding $200 per day. This directive aims to enhance security and facilitate smoother use of foreign-issued payment cards within Nigeria. This new policy was communicated in a circular dated December 18th, issued by the CBN Financial Policy and Regulation Department and signed by Dr. Rita CK. Nobody wants to wake up and hear issues with his or her card or transaction. So they are saying, hey, everybody gets more authentication. Now, we have several factors. It could be 2, it could be 3-factor authentication when it comes to your account or social media handles or several other things. Now that is moving down to financial cards. How fast can this be done?
It can be done as fast as possible. So, but, I feel like this is coming a bit late because the importance of this is for tourism, and which is we only run a 1-year tourism calendar, which is December. So I feel like this should have been done in October. And how does this apply? So because foreign cards don't work in most places, to my own knowledge, foreign cards only work in 5,000 hotels in Lagos and maybe few payment portals, few fine dining restaurants. That's where foreign cards work. So last year, a lot of tourists went back to their country and called back the payment because in foreign countries, you can tell your bank that you don't know this charge and they take it back. And because it's just a single authentication, as a matter of fact, in America, people don't know what PIN is because you just tap your card to pay. You just palm, you go, or use your phone, Apple Pay. So it's easy. And it's easy for you to say it's fraud. But if it's within the shores of America, they can investigate it and they can see you on the camera like, yo, this is you paying with your card by yourself. But in Nigeria is already a high-risk place, so they don't even need to investigate. They just tell CBN that, okay, this payment is fraud, and, we know
we don't know.
So it's easy. So they call back so many payments. So these are FX payments that CBN is looking at like, oh, we are making $20 million in debt in December in payments. Now the US government is saying, or the UK government or wherever saying these are fraud payments. And vendors in Nigeria were screaming. And what is going to happen this year is that vendors are now saying, tourists, hey, pay me cash, right? So when you now say pay me cash, guess what is going to happen? All the FX that is coming into this country will now go to the black market because instead of people bringing their card to pay, because you now say everything is going to be cash payment, then a lot of the influx of the tourist dollars and tourist pounds is going to the black market. So CBN, in order to now curb that for the black market not to have excess FX, because when they have excess FX, they get to dictate the exchange rate.
Yes.
So in order to curb it, they are now saying, hey, we will take card. But when you now have multi-authentication or multi-factor authentication, there's no way you put your PIN, you put other things, and then you now say it's not you. You will not be able to call back the transaction because they now be able to say, oh, you put your PIN, you put your zip code. There's no way a fraudster is using your card to do that. And, maybe your bank will now want to investigate further to be sure.
But then again...
But I feel like it's coming late. Today is 21st. This circular came in
Friday.
It's on Friday, so it's late. We are in the middle of it already. This is something should have been addressed since January, February, when people went back from, the last tourism calendar, that is when CBN should have addressed this, not this, but better late than never.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a good one, but we also need a very tight cyber security, thing to monitor, because in as much as I agree with what Mokhtar said, I also don't agree, because we've seen cases whereby your phone gets stolen and somehow they get into your account, even with the OTP and all that happens in Nigeria. I'm not even talking about the diasporas. So in as much as it's a good thing, we also need to find how we can also make sure. Now, two-factor authentication, some two-factor authentication is linked to your SIM card, your email, and also another second email. Just in case this particular email doesn't work, they use the other one. But sometimes they even go ahead and ask you a security question, which you would set for yourself, the question and the answer. All that is to ensure that, yes, it's a very tight thing to decode or to hack.
Okay.
But then again, we don't know our people.
But that's for appliances you're talking about. But
Yeah,
what about
but-
for payment?
For payment, what I'm basically saying is that it's good if it's your card. But if your card is also linked to your phone number or any other thing, your phone gets stolen, what are the chances that they won't be able to hack into that card?
Actually, when you are doing tap and go,
That's for tap and go, yeah.
yeah, for tap and go, if the person does not have the password of your phone
Okay.
and have your facials,
or your thumbprint.
they can't pay with it.
Okay.
So, and I like to point out that Nigerian banking system is actually one of the secured in the world. And the same thing that happened to Nigerian vendors. Me personally, this is my own personal experience. So I was in the US October thereabout, and then Access Bank announced that you can now use your Naira card to make dollar payments for up to $600 a month.
Yes.
So I started using my Access card to get the train. Now, when I got back in November, trust me, all the train pay, because it's tap and go, the train you just put and it opens, you get there. All the train payments that I made, I got it back, because Access Bank is now saying, because all these payments was tap and go, all our cards has that feature, but they don't enable it. Nigeria force you to use PIN, but you can actually tap your card. There's something that there's like a sign of like a Wi-Fi that shows that it's tap and go. So I got all my payment back, all the train that I've been taking from September up to November, middle of November. Access Bank gave me back all the money
Wow.
that was charged, because they now say, oh, your card was used without PIN. So they didn't think it was me. But there's no way I could have used PIN, because the train, you just tap and you go. But if it was American card, that's their system. So it's vice versa.